Am I selfish to be happy about the new ruling as a South Asian? Well, you're not selfish, you're just dumb. If you think that this new ruling is going to help you get into Harvard, good luck. Unless your father already is a Harvard professor or is an alumni of Harvard, in which case you probably would have gone into Harvard anyway. People are so stupid about the affirmative action shit. Like, is it a great solution to systemic racism? No, of course not. But the counter to that, all of the counters to affirmative action have always revolved around fairness, right? People claiming like, well, technically this is unfair. Wow, in order to defeat racism, you're doing more racism. Like, that's idiotic. You're not doing more racism. Are you fucking stupid? That's not how this works. There are racial wrongs that were committed on the basis, on the virtue of the color of people's skins. Now, in order to correct those wrongs, yes, restitution in some form is going to be on similar boundaries. It's so stupid. This is super basic shit. When your arm breaks, you don't patch up your toe. You fix your arm. There is no, well, you know, we gotta look at everything here. Like, it's crazy. Like, you know, I know your arm broke, but you know, I'm gonna look at the stub toe for a little bit here. It's like, that's not how this works. If discrimination was done historically on the basis of the color of your skin, then the solution to said discrimination also has to feature that exact same problem. Terrible analogy? I don't think that's a terrible analogy. I was just trying to do what Malcolm X's analogy is, but not use those same terms. But here's a better analogy, a historically relevant one right now.
You feel, however, that we're making progress in this country and worldwide?
No. I will never say that progress is being made. If you stick a knife in my back 9 inches and pull it out 6 inches, there's no progress. You pull it all the way out, that's not progress. The progress is healing the wound that the blow made. They won't even admit the knife is there.
That's it. That's the point. That's the quote. I mean, it's so perfect. They won't admit the knife is there. And that's what this is. The knife not being there is Ben Shapiro saying systemic discrimination doesn't exist. Republicans saying, or conservatives saying, systemic discrimination doesn't exist. That's it. That's a legendary fucking quote, and it works perfectly in this situation. So Jay Bowie had a great quote on this. The Supreme Court has ruled on affirmative action. Per Amy Ho of SCOTUS blog, the court holds that Harvard and UNC's admissions program violate the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. Now, the way that they deliberated on this is so fucked up. As expected, the court has inverted the 14th, okay? An amendment written explicitly to directly ameliorate the conditions of race hierarchy becomes, in conservative hands, an amendment that says it's illegal to try to directly ameliorate the conditions of race hierarchy. There you go. In a country where segregated school systems still absolutely exist, in a country where the real inequality stems from legacy admissions in college campuses and not necessarily like a little bit of a helping hand to ensure that the student body looks more like the diverse American society, which has demonstrably positive impacts on learning and education in a multicultural society. These guys went ahead and were like, nah, fuck that, dude. We don't want this shit. So the Supreme Court has ruled that affirmative action policies in UNC and Harvard are unconstitutional according to the 14th Amendment. Where are the originalists now, trying to apply the meaning of the amendment at the time it was written? Exactly. Well, I've already told you that originalists or textualists are absolutely just racist, reactionary pieces of shit that try to add an intellectual patina to their analysis when their analysis is just fucking racism or whatever the Republican body demands of that moment. Let's cover the actual heart of the matter here. President Biden gave remarks on the Supreme Court's ruling on affirmative action. Let's start there.
45 years, the United States Supreme Court has recognized the college's freedom to decide how to build diverse student bodies and to meet their responsibility of opening doors of opportunity for every single American. That colleges could use race not as a determinative factor for admission, but as one of the factors among many in deciding who to admit from a already qualified pool of applicants. Today, the court once again walked away from decades of precedent and as the dissent has made clear. The court has effectively ended affirmative action in college admissions. And I strongly disagree with the court's decision. Because affirmative action is so misunderstood, I want to be clear, make sure everybody's clear about what the law has been and what it has not been until today. Many people wrongly believe that affirmative action allows unqualified students to be admitted ahead of qualified students. This is not how college admissions work. Rather, colleges set out standards for admission, and every student has to meet those standards. Then and only then, after first meeting the qualifications required by the school, do colleges look at other factors in addition to their grades, such as race.
I love people getting so fucking mad about this, but it's literally true. College campuses, just like any other fucking institution, absolutely have the opportunity to say and have did have all of the freedom to say, we want a diverse body that represents the American diversity. Like, we want to recreate a multicultural society in our little ecosystem, right? That we believe is really important in formative years for development. That's it. It's ridiculous to be like, nah, dog, you're not allowed to do that, actually. Like, it has to be fucking SATs only. If your attitude is like, well, technically, like, I believe in a meritocratic approach, which, no such thing really exists, okay? If that's what you truly believe, then eviscerate legacy admissions. That's why you're dumb, okay? You're dumb for getting upset about this or celebrating this decision, thinking that it's going to change anything dramatically in anyone's lives, when legacy admissions are right there and infinitely more significant. I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and 43% of white people that are admitted to Harvard are either legacy parents or that are faculty or family that has donated to college. Yeah. Hasan, I regret to tell you that you have anti-Asian politics. Your recent report on Asia and Asian-related news has been horrible. Wait, you think I'm anti-Asian politics because I think the Supreme Court decision... Wait, what are the things that I did that were anti-Asian? Is it Shine? Is it because I said the Sheen factory conditions are actually not in the way that they're representing it when they do that dumbass PR marketing? Is that what you're saying? Dude, I'm sorry. There is nothing more annoying to me than fucking first generation, second generation, third generation Asian motherfuckers who are dogs to white people. You are literally barking for white people. Shut the fuck up. They do not give a fuck about you, dumbass. This entire affirmative action thing being like, oh, well, this is actually a really important day for Asian people. Like, we should be celebrating it. That entire institution that brought this up to the Supreme Court is led by white people. They just put Asian people in the front because they realized if they were doing it for white people, then it would have been demonstrably white supremacists, and people would have said, oh, this is fucking bullshit. Get the fuck out of here. So what do? They turned around and they put a bunch of Asian dudes in the front as props. And some of you dumb motherfuckers ate that propaganda hook, line, and sinker. It's so dumb. See, you're doing it. Suck my dick, dumbass. This guy's literally like, no, I am the model minority. Yeah, okay, dude. This motherfucker's only... Why should Asians lose under affirmative action, though? So what? Benefit white women the most. Motherfucker, get into Berkeley then, okay? Suck my dick. Get into Berkeley. Go get into Berkeley. Go get into any of the fucking University of California schools then. Shut the fuck up. There's plenty of schools you can get into. Since the peak of desegregation for black students in 1988, the share of intensely segregated minority schools, that is, schools that enroll 90 to 100% non-white students, has more than tripled, from 5.7% in 1988 to 18.2% in 2016. This shit is getting worse. To pretend that we are in a post-racial world is ridiculous. The least we can do is provide a Band-Aid. Exactly. Hey, you want to know what's great? At least you could tell your disappointed parents that you couldn't get into fucking Harvard and Yale because you're Asian. Now you don't have that. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do now? Now you just couldn't get in because you're a dumbass. At least you had that. You could have just been like, oh, well, I'm Asian. They're discriminating against me. Now you don't even have that. You're fucked. You got no excuse. The entire conversation quite literally fucking started with a white guy. A white guy and his organization decided the best way to sell this to Americans is not by focusing on anti-blackness or focusing on any kind of other considerations, but instead focusing on fairness, because Americans love the notion of a meritocracy and a meritocratic process, okay? That's what it is. It's the same shit with like trans students playing fucking high school basketball or whatever, high school wrestling. It's the same concept. Reverse transphobic sentiment into a conversation that revolves around this idea of fairness. Reverse affirmative action which is a Band-Aid solution and certainly not a successful one, all that successful one, really. It was just like marginally drip feeding more black people into the upper echelon of like professional managerial class positions, like slowly but surely. Just a couple extra black people. That's what it was slated to do. That's what it was doing. White Americans would have never allowed any sort of like real fucking restitution. They would never allow reparations. You know what I mean? So they just did this. And then, even that was too much. So we rolled it all the way the fuck back. Admissions staff should take into account the effect of race on their lives rather than trying to hit a quota. There exists a leftist argument in support of affirmative action in this decision. Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. Race-conscious admissions are on a stronger footing than ever. The new rules for race-conscious admissions actually seem more in line with the left-wing rationales for affirmative action. These rationales are focused on the ways in which past and present racial oppression has affected people's lives, necessitating a race-conscious remedy in the form of affirmative action. Except that is how affirmative action has always been perceived. It's not necessarily just racial quotas, but the way that they fucking allow certain groups of people that wouldn't fucking hit the statistical aptitude test requirements that everyone else has was literally this. How has race factored into their personal lives? That's why they call it a holistic approach. But motherfuckers have lied and literally made it seem like, no, it's just a quota. It's just a quota. It's just a quota. They're just taking like a fucking 2.5 GPA black student and like plucking them into Harvard as though that is the case. Bro, I fundamentally agree with the concept of affirmative action, but I go to a T10 school, and from what I see, many of the students who could benefit from affirmative action are wealthy black families and or esteemed immigrant families. I know this is a sensitive topic, but is there a way to do affirmative action based on class as opposed to race? We're never getting anything. We're never getting anything based on class. If anything, if you want to abolish, again, if you want to create true meritocracy, then you have to literally destroy legacy admissions. But you won't. That is the most classist one out there. No more gifting fucking library wings to Harvard and Yale. No more legacy admissions that factor into your consideration. Why would you assume those black people are there due to affirmative action? Isn't that racist? Obviously, not every single black person that's gotten into one of these institutions is there because they benefited from affirmative action. That is a racist take. You're absolutely correct on that. People love to point out is the averages. Like the average GPA or the average SAT score, as though those two are the only reasons why people get into fucking college. That's not how that works. That's never been how any of this works, but they have basically whittled it down to that. It's not just extracurriculars. It is how race and your socioeconomic status, oftentimes tied to your racial background, has carved your personal experiences. These are all woke schools, so I don't know why Republicans care. First of all, they're not. Let's be fucking real. There is no fucking wokeness in Harvard, okay? These are the war crime schools. Let's be fucking very real about that. Yeah, these woke-ass war criminal schools, man, is my favorite. Oh, by the way, they have a caveat footnote. The ban on considering race in admissions does not apply to military academies. Interesting. Yeah, woke-ass military, baby. It's because gay General Mark Milley wants a they-them military that's full of other races, non-whites. That's the problem. That's what's going on here, folks. Stay woke. Be aware of it. Is there any data that actually shows going to these Ivy schools benefit your career outlook? Like there may be correlation to the most Ivy kids being rich, trust fund babies. Yes, going to Harvard definitely gives you an advantage because college isn't like the best at educating you. You can learn. It's about networking. If you have worked your fucking ass off and have basically squeezed your way into Harvard without any sort of like legacy admissions help, you are now sitting next to oil barons' children. All of a sudden, your homies from college are the ones who are flying around the world in private jets, whose parents are fucking trust fund children, who have a maximum amount of intergenerational wealth. These are the people that will offer you job opportunities down the line. You get to network with the wealthiest people on the fucking planet. That is profoundly important. That's how you get a job. In this day and age, there is no real meritocracy. There's never really been a real meritocracy, okay? We're not in fucking China. We don't live in China. We don't live in Korea. We don't live in Japan. We don't have the same, like, interests in or thousands of years of tradition in, like, upward social mobility through our schooling system. If that was the case, then there would be a base level of material equality in schooling, no matter which fucking village you're from. We don't have that shit. Let's be real. The only reason why getting into Harvard or getting into these top institutions is who else is there with you. Countries like China and Korea have a much greater focus on standardized testing. In America, where SAT is a singular, albeit important factor in a holistic process, people study 10 hours a day for years for the Guao, and doesn't people literally kill themselves each year in China because they didn't do well on it? Yeah. By the way, that Chinese standardized testing concept has existed for like thousands of fucking years too. Or the idea that like you can work for some form of like Chinese local government, and that is a way for you as a peasant to engage in some kind of upward social mobility. That is not like a new principle at all. This shit has existed for a very long time. Chinese testing was Confucian in origin 2,500 years ago at least. Yes. It used to be a test for bureaucracy. And that has continued into the private sector and also civil service now. My point is, in America, we have a different process, okay? We don't have the same level of focus on standardized testing. And I don't even think that focus on standardized testing is good either. I've talked about this before. It's not, you don't hate nepotism, you hate capitalism. And nepotism is yet another example of capitalism in action. You wouldn't give a shit about nepotism if you had the opportunity to work at whatever fucking job you wanted to. If your educational background was relatively on even footing, regardless of your fucking financials in the beginning. You just wouldn't care about that at all if you went and actually got a good job, and you had job security, and you had a meaningful future, and you had some level of autonomy in the fucking workplace. You wouldn't give a shit if someone's uncle or someone's dad owned a fucking HVAC business that they ended up getting into. You know what I mean? That's like, that would not be a thing. You should be like, yeah, of course people are going to fucking help their families out. Who gives a fuck? Or of course people are going to help their friends out. Who gives a shit? Would be your attitude. But the only reason why this is like seen as this like gross perversion is because capitalism comes with a false understanding of meritocracy, a lie that meritocracy is a real thing. That's why people get so fucking frustrated with this shit. You wouldn't give a fuck about legacy admissions in Harvard. Well, most people still don't, but people that understand the process wouldn't give a fuck about legacy admissions at Harvard if you could get a similar education and similar job opportunities, which you do get a similar education to Harvard in any fucking school, by the way, but job opportunities purely based on, your educational background rather than who you fucking know. Yeah, the Hassan Minhaj video on affirmative action is pretty good. I think it covers all the basis of like why it's stupid to like look at this as like a W for Asian Americans or whatever. Meanwhile, some of you dumb motherfuckers literally think you're going to get into better schools when you were just not even in the consideration because you're Asian. No, that's not the reason, okay? You're not in the consideration because you're not rich. That's it. It should be through a socioeconomic assessment that the proper educational aid is offered, and that way you prevent treating a race or ethnic group as a monolith. That already exists in the form of financial aids. But as far as admissions goes, I agree. I think that should happen. I'm not against doing that. I think that is a good thing to do. I think Supreme Court got the affirmative action case right. I'm sick of the stereotypes that attach all minorities because of this policy. It was necessary in the beginning, but it has become counterproductive. But legacy admissions, which are more unfair, must also be banned. I mean, it has become counterproductive and it's necessary in the beginning. Why does Jang have these fucking takes? Well, I guess because, kids are in the Asian category. Is that what it is? Ultimately, it doesn't really matter. As someone who has defended affirmative action, I defend it on the grounds that it's nothing. You know what I mean? It's like ultimately super insignificant, and making a big stink about something that is ultimately insignificant as though that is like the main contributing factor into like real racism or whatever the fuck is so stupid because it doesn't even operate in the way that they claim it operates. It doesn't operate in the claim that the claim that right-wingers have made. It never has, and it never will. Okay, it's not like racial quotas. It's ultimately a stupid, idiotic Band-Aid that even the Band-Aid is no longer offered. Here.
I think we need to talk about white women and white women's role and where we find ourselves at today in society. And I don't mean that as an indictment of you white women, but I mean that like y'all need to call a fucking meeting and convene amongst yourselves, because this isn't actually the rest of us problem or anything the rest of us could do. Because white women are the only marginalized or minority group in their mind that vote overwhelmingly Republican. Y'all are the only ones voting in service in service, or better yet, in disservice of your own interests. Because at the end of the day, right, white women have voted Republican. A lesser known fact is that affirmative action policies have benefited white women more than any other demographic. More than any other demographic. More than any other demographic. And before anybody say anything, Clarence Thomas is not one of ours, okay? Don't say it, but Clarence Thomas, yes, Clarence Thomas is a coon ass. He is one of y'all. Let him tell it. He belongs to y'all.
Clarence Thomas is a very interesting figure, obviously. Here's Corey Robbins' analysis. Pages 56 and 58 of Thomas' opinion in the affirmative action case to get the heart of his worldview. Clarence Thomas believes black people should go to black schools. If you look at what black schools did under Jim Crow, you find Clarence Thomas' vision of a black future in America. A chapter in my book on Thomas and affirmative action is called Separate But Equal. I think it's no exaggeration to claim that Thomas takes his inspiration from Jim Crow. If you don't believe me, read footnote 12 on P57. Page 57 on his affirmative action opinion today. Yeah, Clarence Thomas is a firm believer of like I've said this before. He's like a black nationalist, segregationist who has no belief in the system. I think like this was elaborated on further in the famous Chapo episode that I'm sure many of you have listened to. Clarence Thomas is probably the most interesting Supreme Court justice. No, it's not just that, like, saying he's a dumb fuck or saying it's like Uncle Ruckus doesn't arrive at the actual opinion, because he does have certain black nationalist roots in his like intellectual development, which is part of the reason why he has like very odd takes on certain matters. I believe I learned from Mike from PA that Clarence is a black defeatist. He thinks you can never change white people's minds on racism, so give up and fall in line. It's not necessarily that he believes in giving up and falling in line. I think he legitimately, kind of like Thomas Sowell, who is also not great, really bad overall. Every racist's favorite black intellectual, Thomas Sowell, he believes that capitalism, black capitalism, is a reverse Fred Hampton. Black capitalism is the only way for black people's emancipation. Okay, but outside of Clarence Thomas, who has been vying for the opportunity to fucking eviscerate affirmative action, my Democrat aunt, a doctor, just had a meltdown over the Supreme Court decision, saying that if blacks have to go by merit, they'll never get anywhere. She then compared being black to being mentally disadvantaged. After her rant, she said, "Oh God, I didn't mean that." Racists are losing it. Yeah, this is a real story that definitely happened. Yeah, I'm sure your Democrat aunt, a doctor, cares about black people in America, was saying like, well, blacks are really stupid and that's why they need a fucking upper hand. That's what she was saying, right? That sounds so much like what Republicans say or racists that say things like that. So it's odd that your aunt would say such a thing while also simultaneously being upset about the Supreme Court decision. Awkward. Supreme Court rules against affirmative action with affirmative action hire sitting right there. Wow, that's fun. Yeah. Ketanji Brown Jackson has done more in her fucking life has done more in her pinky than like the entire fucking Babylon B cast. Like, Jesus Christ. That's very gross. But you know, I expect that. She's also one of the more qualified Supreme Court justices, if there is such a qualification that's necessary.